Well, Alex, I know you touched on it a little bit, but for the fans who saw the story on A&E, what are the main differences between the two different documentaries?
Yeah. So again, I want fans to know we're not pulling a fast one on them. This is not some rearrangement of some old documentary.
I actually did not win the gold medal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the twist.
The real story.
This is the original version that Kurt and I intended. It's far more of a sports epic biopic than your normal pro wrestling documentary. We spent probably a little over an hour on Kurt's story pre-pro wrestling, whereas I believe the A&E version spent, I think if you take out the commercials, I think it spent a little under 20 minutes on that same section. So that is a huge difference. And then for the rest of the documentary, when we get into pro wrestling, fans will see a different feel for the rest of that as well. The timing is a little bit similar overall, but there's a lot of different moments that we use, in comparison to that one. And I'm really excited about the ending because they didn't use my ending in the A&E version, and I think it's a very powerful ending. I'm really excited for
it. It is, Alex. I think the fans are going to love it. Definitely, yes.
Thank you, brother.
So you talked about the interview time that you spent with Kurt, the 8-hour days, and that. Can you tell us how much more was Kurt involved in making of Angle?
Yeah, I mean, again, I bugged him a lot. I'm OCD. I believe Kurt is a little OCD as well. I believe that's why he was able to.
Yes, I am.
Absolutely.
He's a perfectionist. I think early on he understood that I was a little bit of a perfectionist as well. Every frame of a film, I like to make sure it's done the way we intended.
Oh, it has to be perfect, Paul. This guy is
that's great. That's who you want working on your stuff, Kurt.
Yes, definitely. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he understood that from the very beginning. That's why every day I would hit him with questions, and every day he would respond. And there were questions about every aspect of his life. We have so much material in this doc, honestly, and I'd be interested in this one day. I think it could break up into 3 1-hour episodes of like an extremely extended documentary. I'd be super interested in doing that someday if fans wanted it. But yeah, because Kurt's story is so dense that I really think you can cover the Olympic story in one, WWE, and then TNA into now.
Yes.
In three different 1-hour blocks, and we easily have the material to do that. And we did make a very long cut to begin with. I do have a cut on me that probably somewhere around 2 hours and 45 minutes instead of the 1 hour and 45 minutes that fans will see. But I'm getting a little off track here.
I am going to tell you this. I was in TNA a lot longer than I was in WWE. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. You could have definitely done 3 episodes.
I love it. And especially, Kurt, I was going to say real quick, sorry, I'm jumping in here, but I mean, even one day, if it ends up on like a 4K Blu-ray collector's disc edition and Kurt can sign it for the fans, and I'm all in on that stuff, man. And I know the people that love Kurt Angle would love that type of thing. So we'll see. You never know.
Well, Alex, did you have any issues with getting interviews? Anyone you really wanted that actually said no?
Oh.
Mark Angle.
Yep. Okay, that's he's the one guy that inspired me to wrestle. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
Wow.
At the time we weren't talking and he didn't want to do it. So it was unfortunate. You have family issues and we had a little issue and he couldn't get by it. So unfortunately he didn't do it, but you know what he did? He called me when he watched the documentary. He said, it's incredible.
Awesome.
Your director did an incredible job. You did an incredible job. I absolutely loved it. And you know what? We did talk a little bit about Mark in the documentary.
Exactly.
So, we explained that he was kind of the inspiration of me wrestling.
Yeah. But the access that we were able to achieve through Kurt and through Ross Danderstein to get everyone else in this movie. I mean, with The Rock. We got The Rock. Dwayne Johnson is in this movie. He donated his time.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Because he loves Kurt and he loved those years. And you don't see what he says prior to my interview, but when I'm off camera, it's all about doing it for Kurt because he loved him, and Austin loved him. and Ronda Rousey donated her time, and Ric Flair,
Rick,
and
yes.
a heck of a lot of Olympic gold medalists. A heck of a lot. Kevin Jackson, Kendall Cross, Bruce
Yeah, I got
Baumgartner,
to see all
Bruce
of them.
Burnett is
They
an
were all
Olympic
my
coach.
teammates. That was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We did about 30 interviews for this, and they were all fascinating. Even Kurt's doctor, who gave him the Novocaine injections in 1996. And the rest of Kurt's family was amazing. Mark was amazing too, by the way. Mark answered all my questions when I would text him. And the rest of Kurt's family was all nice enough to sit down for interviews with us. All of his brothers. Giovanna was obviously amazing with her time and amazing with what she was able to give to us during the interview. And we even did some filming with Kurt's kids, which was fun too. But yeah, I wanted to make it I'll probably never work this hard on a documentary again. I shouldn't say that, but we got an extreme wide range of interviews for this. I just want to thank everyone for donating their time. And I especially want to thank Greg Strobel. Greg Strobel passed away. He was a USA Wrestling coach, and he passed away a couple years ago. And he has some of my favorite moments in the film that actually weren't in the A&E version, but are in this version. And I'm very excited for his family to see that. And I thank them.
You know what, Alex? I don't know if you know this, but you might know this. But Greg Strobel was also a coach at Foxcatcher, so that's he was there when all that stuff went down, and a lot of people don't know that because when he left, he ended up working for USA Wrestling.
Right.
And a lot of people didn't realize he was there at Foxcatcher when all that stuff went down.
Right. I talked with him briefly about it, so I was aware, and. The guy, he was a great guy, and I just really appreciate the time and the sentiments he had to say about Kurt in the movie. He said he's never met a harder worker in his life. I don't know if I've ever heard this before, but he said that Kurt worked too hard as an amateur wrestler, so they had to actually had to ask him to dial it back, and that was fascinating to me. And in a way, that line is one of the crutches of the film as well, because it's such a narrative thread as well. There's so many narrative threads to Kurt's life, but that would be another one of them, and that is something that Greg Strobel expressed to us.